Welcome, everybody. Why is this so dark? I'm afraid if I turn the light on, it's not going to be, it's going to oh, that's better. Okay, we'll do with it. We'll go with that. How come the more technology we get, the more I suck at it? It should be improving. Instead, it's destroying me. It's killing me. Welcome, everybody. You know, there was a time several years ago that David Williams and I used to do a show called AD. And then we'd put the year, whatever year it was. And I believe it was 2020, 2021, something like that, when we started doing it. And it was just before Graybeard. So I guess Graybeard has been 2.5 years. That would be 2023, maybe, I guess. But anyway, it would say AD 2023. And it was Aaron and David. And plus the year, 2023 AD. Get it? So, and we would just come on and draw. And then it became Graybeards, and the evolution of that. Those of you who've watched throughout the years know that. And but we're getting back to that, a simpler time, if you will, where we're just going to do some of these rando draw streams. So this is officially the return of AD, except it's AD 2026 now. So I can't do it alone. So let's bring in David. Howdy.
What's that?
Excellent. Today we're going to be working on, we started a couple pieces, on Tuesday, I think it was, that were Barbaric Adventures related, which we'll get to that campaign in a little bit till a few more people roll in. But we've been doing some artwork for the sole purpose of promoting the campaign and the project. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to finish up, I think, the stuff we started on Tuesday. And I have a surprise for those of you that tuned in today. I was thinking, I'm going to show everybody this piece. Then I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to. But I'm going to show you guys today a page from my story in Barbaric Adventures that will blow your mind. It's not done, but you'll be able to see everything. So anyway, there you go. That's my intro. That's the best you're going to get out of me when I don't prepare for anything. So let's just do a quick run through, see who's here. Coram is joining us, says, enjoy watching you guys draw. Can't wait to get Barbaric Adventures. Thank you, sir. Dennis Rodriguez is here. Leg Kick is here because Leg Kick is always here. Matthew Muma joining us. Citizen Ronan says, the return of the David Williams draw stream with Aaron. There you go. Nicholas Gear is here. He says they did it. They finally fired Dan and Gary. Anything's possible. All options are on the table. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, so that's the people in the chat at the moment. Market Skill Group, purveyor of all things pop culture knowledge. Bill Maxwell just jumped in. Justin Soto. Welcome one, welcome all, you guys. We are promoting Barbaric Adventures #1. You'll find a link in the description of this video. You'll also find it pinned to the chat, top of the chat, on YouTube. If you're watching on X, I don't know if you have access to that stuff. So the mods, of course, are posting in the chat. You can also just go to Indiegogo, type in Aaron Lopresti or Barbaric Adventures, and it'll take you right there. So there you go. Are you ready, David, to...
Nope.
Then let's do it anyway. I want to show you that splash page I've been working on, but I'm going to wait a little bit till we get a few more people in here, and then I will show it about halfway through. So we're going to draw for an hour and a half, something like that, promote the campaign a little bit, and try to keep you guys entertained with some stories at least.
I've been tearing up my art area trying to find my ink tray, and I can't find it.
Your studio is not that big that you should be losing stuff like that.
Exactly.
I can't find anything, but I've got about 14 different piles that it could be in, so that's why I have the biggest problem.
And the crazy thing is, like, the thing you're looking for is like literally right in your face. One time I was like looking for something the whole time, and I was holding it. I said, it looks just like this.
It's not like you're looking for your glasses and you got them on your head.
Yeah.
lot of people buy it. Or walk around with your keys to your car in your hand, and you walk around. I can't find my keys.
Exactly.
My Shelly's really good at. What's she say? She's a good looker, and whenever they ask me to find something, it's generally not going to happen. But then she gets involved, and within minutes, she's found it. Same thing with my mom. Used to be when I was a kid. Go get this. I'm like, I can't find it. And she, they'd storm in there all pissed off and go, it's right here. So what do you got? You got your Carson Taylor, the hero of my story, Primal Zone. That's what you're working on, right?
Yep.
So we're both going to, I got to finish my caveman here in the background, but we're both going to ink wash these or grayscale them or however you want to refer to it. I was going to just use markers on this, but I have the ink wash sitting right there and the brush sitting right there and water sitting right there. So I'm like, I'm going to just ink wash this.
Well, on my pages, I'm going to be using, gray markers and ink wash because there's things that the ink wash can do and can't do that the markers and vice versa.
That's true.
I'm trying to create something that you can't tell what medium I'm using. Only the keen-eyed artist would understand.
Well, and of course, all the people that are listening right now, you just told it to.
Yeah, but when they see it, they won't be able to discern.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I'm not trying to be that clever. I'm just going to go straight.
I'm not trying to be clever either. It's just more out of necessity that I have to switch between the two. I'll tell you one thing about the markers. You could get a more consistent tone with the markers, and with the ink wash, there's a little bit of control if you're trying to do like line work and feathering.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're trying to do a big space,
problematic.
Just assume it's going to be chaotic and it won't be uniform.
Exactly. I don't know that I've got any big spaces. I got so I am going a little bit crazy with the detail on some of this stuff. So now granted, the thing I'm working on that I'm going to show you guys in a little bit is the splash page. So yeah, it's got to be, it's going to have that extra oomph in it, but I don't think I've drawn an open panel yet in this story. So I may have to get to that because I
think that advantage that you have over me is that you're a far superior inker than me, and you have such control over the final.
Well, but see, that's the thing. While you were employed working for Warner Brothers and comics, I was unemployed and had plenty of time to work on my inking skills. So being unemployed for all those years, where you started when you were like 16, you see, ended up in the long run being an advantage to me. See, I got all that extra practice in while I was waiting to get a job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, consumer products and also in animation is not conducive to an inker at all. I did a lot of that work, and most of that stuff is just pencil, and you have to pencil that stuff as tight as if it, like the lay person couldn't tell it was inked. It wasn't inked, So we had to pencil super tight, and I know I had calluses on my hand because I was penciling so tight, and we had to do it so dark and keep it clean without smudging and all this other kind of stuff, that I had worn a groove in my middle finger, with a callus. And I was like, hey, Jerome, check this out. And I put a pencil in there, and I just left my hand, and it stayed. It was crazy.
Basically, you injured yourself so badly you could not flip anybody off with your middle finger.
Yeah, right? They'd say, oh, what happened to your, are we born that way?
What happened to your bird finger, man? What happened?
Is that a vestigial twin on your middle finger?
Sounds like a bad Stephen King movie. Did you see that? There was a Stephen King. I don't even remember what it was called, but Timothy Hutton was in it, and he had a twin growing in his brain, and they thought it was a tumor, and they opened up his brain, opened up his head for brain surgery, and this eye popped out and was looking at him while they were operating, freaked him out.
Yeah, I can't watch movies like that.
Yeah, I don't know that it was a very good movie because I didn't watch much of it, but I did see that scene and I was like, it's nasty, man. Just because he had teeth and like an eye or two was growing and the eye was blinking and it was in his brain, and the teeth were there and it was just like. And every time he was around, a bunch of crows would be flying around. So I don't even really know what any of that means, but I'm not a big Stephen King fan, but.
Yeah. I'm less of a fan now after you told me that.
I know. It's like, what the? Who comes up with that stuff? I mean, I guess we have fertile imaginations. Obviously, that's what we do. But I never really got, I would never sit around and come up with these really gross, disgusting things. It's always like, oh yeah, the sun's going to explode, and this guy goes and saves the world. Stephen King's like, what if there was an eye and some teeth growing out of your butt? Like, what the? But hey, he's made plenty of money doing that crap. So. More power to him, I guess. All right. I think that's good enough. Gonna have to have these guys sort of fade in the background. Frazetta used to have people coming up behind somebody and they would you'd see their face and their shoulders and then everything would just sort of mist away down as the camera continued to drop. Have you picked up one of these perma packs yet? These black pens? These big
no.
Dude, I almost use this exclusively now to fill in blacks.
Really?
Really black. It lays pretty flat. It doesn't have the same reflective quality as ink does. So if you mix them, when you turn it in the light, one will be flat and the other one will be glossy kind of thing. But when you scan it, and if you lay it flat and you have right top light on it, it looks the same. But anyway, it's so much easier to put on. So I've been collecting those and using those for.
How long, or how much can you abuse them before they're?
I've gotten quite a bit out of the ones that I've used. So far, I think I've only opened up 2 of them, and I've had them for weeks, and I'm using them pretty regularly. So I've been surprised at how long they've lasted, quite frankly.
Have you tried to color over them? Does it smudge or?
I have ink washed over them, and they seem to hold up okay.
Well, I mean that's a fair test, sure.
But it's here permanent, so.
The only reason I'm asking because markers, if markers were up against it, you're dealing with another chemical, and I was wondering if it.
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I have used marker, and only. But see, I find this all the time with markers anyway. Every once in a while, you'll find a spot in the black that'll bleed for some reason, but consistently it hasn't. This is says it is odorless, waterproof, and fade-resistant ink. So there you go.
Okay.
No shaking or pumping required. Not sure.
You ever use these Copic multi-liners, the color ones?
I haven't used the color ones. I've used the the black ones just for the narrower ones for tighter line work and stuff.
Yeah.
They're silver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should get the color ones because if you did a color piece, just say if you wanted a certain line work as not black, you want it like a color hold.
Yeah.
You could use those for that. And it looks pretty good.
Well, you've been pushing me to do that forever.
Yeah.
Is to ink with a gray or something like that. I'm so resistant to change.
I mean, you could do it for any other color. Like, just say, like, if you were doing red Sonia's hair and you didn't want black lines running all through it,
Yeah.
you could use the reds or the oranges and get different, values, and then color over it, and it looks like, again, looks like a color hold.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense. And you could even do that with like a sepia or something for like skin tone and things.
Exactly.
I like it. All right. Well, I need to do, that's the thing. We've been talking about this a lot, but I need to do more experimentation, do stuff that I haven't, because all this other stuff is so comfortable because I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
So you just automatically go back to the stuff that you works and you know how to do, but you miss out.
That kind of thing, like what I was saying, it doesn't mitigate you being, doing the same motions that you would if you were just
right
inking and all that kind of stuff. It's just, when it comes to color, it's just exploring another tone.
Right. Well, next time I'm in the art store, I'll pick some up because I get in there. It's like when I go grocery shopping, I never make a list. Yeah. And then I get in there and I'm like, okay, what the heck do I need? And then sometimes I always end up forgetting something. And I'll be sitting there going, walking around the art supply store saying, I know I need something, but I don't remember what it is. So I'll just buy more paper, which I don't need. I have a ton of paper, but I always buy erasers and paper when I can't think of anything else to buy. And so I'll take a look at those liners. That's actually kind of a good idea.
Get that in the Faber-Castell grays. Does this show up?
What size do you normally use or use the most?
On which one? The Faber-Castells or the?
Yeah, if you're like using for like.
Well, they only have the brush tips, and you could get a real fine liner.
I was thinking Copic. Those.
The Copic ones are the 0.3.
Okay. So were you talking about? Were you talking about the Faber-Castell or were you talking about the Copics? Because I was thinking Copics the whole time you were talking.
No, I mentioned both. I mentioned the Faber-Castell second, but okay. The Copics, they're all 0.3 in color. See, here's a set of colors. I don't know if you can see them.
Yeah. But those are Copics, right?
No, yes. Excuse me. Yes.
Those are the silver ones, right?
Yes.
Those are, okay.
Yes, but they sell you a set of colors just like that.
Okay.
And
so I can get a bunch of 0.3s.
Yeah.
Set.
They don't give you various other sizes, I don't think, of the color ones. But the 0.3s are perfect,
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
I guess it depends on the size you're drawing. I mean, sometimes I will use 0.8s. And then, like if I'm doing like a face or some really kind of thin noodling, I'll drop down to a 5 or a 3. But yeah, I think a 3. What I found out, what you forget is that some of these pens I've had for so long, they don't really work that well, right? So they're not very juicy. And then you get one that's brand new.
Yeah.
And it flows so nicely. Like, so you can use a smaller nib like you're talking about and still get some really nice stuff, because mine, if I use them too long, they start to get dry. And then it's like that 3 you can hardly get a line out of it. You have to end up using a dry 8 to get a decent line. But then when I get a brand new one, I'm so amazed at how well it works. I'm like, okay, I got to throw these out.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to got 150 people watching right now, so I'm going to run through the campaign real quick while we continue to work on this stuff. Well, at least David, I will be manning the campaign, but bear with us here for a second. Okay, there we go. Boom. Okay, so we had 290 backers. I made a plea last night because I think we were at 288. And I said, come on, you guys, give me 290 before bedtime or something like that. And we got it. So thank you guys for that. Our goal really, I think, is to be at least 600 backers on this campaign. So we're about halfway there. But I would encourage everybody that, obviously I would encourage everybody that hasn't backed yet to please consider doing so. And let me run the trailer again and then talk
I
about
want 1,000 backers, damn it.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah, so do I, but I'll take 600 if that's all I can get. Come on, baby. Work. There it is. You hear that?
Yep.
Okay. Now you can't.
No. You broke it. Did it freeze?
Huh?
Did it freeze? I can't hear it.
Oh, great. Yeah. Technology is not my friend. I'll try this again. All right, here we go. All right, let's try this again. You hear that, right?
Yeah.
All right. All right, that was successful. Okay. So anyway, here's the campaign. Barbaric Adventures #1. It is the most anticipated comic magazine of 2026. I don't care what anybody says. It's 64 pages, square bound, magazine format. That's 8.5 and 11 by you, to you and me. Black and white. Okay, I know that scares some people away, but we were doing this for artistic reasons. Back in the day, we used to worry about getting a good inker. Now you got to worry about getting a good colorist, because the colorist either makes or breaks your project. And a lot of times, you know, coloring comes out darker than you'd like it or whatever, maybe oversaturated. And we're some artists that want you guys to be able to enjoy the black and white in its purest form. And that is what we're doing. So look at this more as a artistic endeavor rather than a couple of cheapskates trying to sell you a black and white magazine. Because that's not why we're doing it that way. So anyway, this has multiple stories in it. My Primal Zone story debuts. This is an ongoing, and so it's the first appearance of Primal Zone, so therefore it has actually a little extra value there. The story of a reluctant hero cast into an interdimensional world of dinosaurs and cavemen. If you're an Edgar Rice Burroughs fan, I think this is the kind of thing you might like. David introduces us to the story of a young medieval knight who battles a horde of demons in a quest to become a true warrior. This is maybe the story with the most depth to it, and it's really a compelling story, and I don't think you want to miss it. And then finally, Dan Lawless, this is also an ongoing series for him, and the debut of his series. The title of the story is Mars Madness. I don't know if he actually has an overall series title yet, but we go to a futuristic Mars where high-tech society has fallen into savage chaos, and one man leads a rebellion to fight against the evil rulers that have taken control. So it's like this weird combo of sci-fi and barbarism. I've seen several pages. Dan's just like a little kid. He's like, I want to show him. I'm like, no, if you show all the pages, people won't have anything to read. So anyway, it's looking really, really cool. And he is going to share a little bit more artwork here in the not too distant future. So is David. Gary Martin provides the iconic inside front cover pinup to this, just like Savage Tales and Savage sort of Conan used to do, and also Creepy and Eerie Magazine used to do that as well. So Gary gets that slot, that prime real estate in there, and he has a really cool piece that you'll want to see. And of course, you will not see it until you get the magazine and it comes out. So there's 4 covers you get to choose from, and they're all painted covers because like I said, we're going back to that sort of trying to recreate that feel of a Savage Tales type magazine. So you've got this cover by me. We call this cover A. It features Primal Zone. This is cover B. This is by David. I love this cover, especially the use of negative space and the subtle color in it. It's really nice. And this, of course, features his character. Dan Lawless's cover option C, which features his character and a story on it. And then finally, we got Joe Jusko to do a guest spot cover for us, which I think is a pretty cool coup. And it's all about who you know, folks. And so was able to get in his schedule and get him to do this for me. And this features Freya, the Ice Princess. She's a Yeti hunter. And there's a preview story in the book featuring her. It's a short preview, but it's in there. And so this marks also her first appearance. So this is not just an anthology book with 4 rando stories in it. It is the debut of several ongoing things. So, and first appearances. So they do have value beyond just the reading experience, which I think will be phenomenal. Here's some of the interior pages. This is by me. Everything's going to be ink washed by all of us. So you're going to have, it's going to be black and white, but it's also going to have gray in it to kind of beef it up a little bit. And this stuff really, really looks cool. Not just mine, but everybody's. They're just doing some really good work in this. And what you find out is when guys are excited about working on something, they tend to do really nice work. And that's what you're going to get here. There's Dan's splash page from his story, Mars Madness. He gave, and how proper use of grays and values can really boost the depth of a piece. And I think he's done a fine job there. If you look over to your right, you'll see there's a 4-pack plus. You get all 4 covers plus the sketchbook that we haven't got to yet, but I will show in a little bit. And that's a $120 value. You get it for $105. I think that's a pretty darn good deal. Now, the other thing that is a really good deal is the Big Barbaric box. And we'll get to that in a minute. But one of the things that's in that box that you can't get anywhere else in the campaign is this 4-print portfolio. And these will all be signed in an illustrated envelope. And there's also a 5th cover that you can only get in the Big Barbaric box. This is the color rough for it. In the coming weeks, I will be, actually be more like the coming days, I will be painting this, and we'll live stream while I'm painting it, and you can watch me screw up in real time. But this will end up being really cool. It's very Doc Savage kind of inspired. So if you want that cover, you can only get it in the big Barbaric box. Of course, we have multiple stretch goals here, and they're all trading cards because I like to fill out my trading card collection. Here's the Barbaric Adventures sketchbook. It's 8.5 by 11, 32 pages, stapled at the spine, just like the Kit Carter sketchbook from the Kit Carter campaign. It's going to have tons of really cool barbaric type work in there. Barbarians and babes, I'm sure there'll be a few in there. There's also this Billy Tucci is. Why does Billy feel the need to call me and text me right when I'm in the middle of a show? He always does that. Anyway, so this print is available as an add-on or as part of a rewards package. But we'll get that in a second. This comes signed. You've got the Barbaric Adventures shot glass. This is the 5th in a series of 6 shot glasses that we've been putting out through Empire Comics. The first was, of course, Wraith of God. Then we did Garbage Man. Then we did Kit Carter. Then last campaign we did Nightclub. This one is Barbaric Adventures. There's going to be a total of 6 shot glasses total. So you'll want to get that and keep your collection going. We have a bunch of original art here for sale. Some of it's already sold. Some of it is still available. You can check the rewards. If it says add to pledge, if it says purple right here, it's available. If it's gray, it's no longer available. So anyway, here's your 4-pack plus, your shot glass. Barbaric Adventures cover A, C, D, and B. They're out of order. I apologize. Don't know why. And then you can get combo packs here. Barbaric Adventures 1 plus the sketchbook, which sketchbook comes signed. And get those together. You save $5 if you do that. Barbaric Adventures 1, cover A, Barbaric Adventures sketchbook, and the print. And there, that's a $5 value, the savings right there. So that's normally $60. You can get all those for $55. Now here's the big savings. My phone is ringing off the freaking hook. Stop it. Okay. So the big Barbaric box is $210 normally, but you get it for $185. So you get all 5 covers. That 5th cover, of course, available only in the big box. And that 4 print portfolio is only available in the big box. And you get the shot glass, the snow hunt print, and the sketchbook along with all that in the big Barbaric box. So that is a good deal. Here's the artwork that we have left. You can see some of them are gray. Some of them are still purple. And you go all the way down to the bottom. Here's all your add-ons. So you can add on everything from this campaign as an extra item, or you can go back and order Wraith of God, 1, 2, and 3, Kit Carter, Garbage Man, Power Cubed, of course, all the covers, and then the Kit Carter sketchbook. So the way Indiegogo is set up now is you just have to keep scrolling. There's the only thing that's on the side is the one perk or reward that's pinned there, and that's the 4-pack plus. Everything else, you just keep scrolling down until you get to it. So there you go. And they charge you when the campaign ends, sort of like Kickstarter. So they're holding your spot, but your credit card has not been charged yet, and the shipping will get charged at that time too when the campaign ends. So it's different than it used to be on Indiegogo. So just so you're aware. Anyway, you will find a link in the description of this video. You'll also find one pinned to the top of the chat. You will also find the mods posting throughout. And if you're, like I said, if you're watching on X, feel free to run to my homepage on X. You'll find a link there, or you can go to Indiegogo and type in Barbaric Adventures or Aaron Lopresti, and it will take you to the campaign. We'd like to see this get up to 300 backers today if we can. So let's keep pushing forward, guys. I cannot emphasize how cool this is going to be, and I really don't think you're going to want to miss this. So if you're on the fence, jump off the fence and back this campaign because it's going to be well worth it.
Also, please share.
Yes. You guys have been doing a great job on social media of sharing the link and the campaign promos that we keep sending out, and we appreciate that very much because we need your help to get more people involved in this project. All right, should I? Let's see, we're about halfway through. Okay, I'm going to show you the artwork. Get ready. Buckle your seatbelts, folks. Because what you're about to see might just change your life. That's kind of overselling, but I don't know that I am on this. All right, are you watching your screen, David?
Yes, sir. Bow. Damn.
Okay, so
I didn't imagine that background. That's pretty damn awesome.
yeah, I got to put a temple back there, man. They were going into the temple for refuge, and they didn't quite make it before the cavemen attacked. So you can see, I'm trying to get a little Frazetta or a lot of Frazetta vibe in my pencils. Just this background up here has taken me quite some time. And check out the border.
Still. There you go. We can see it on the table. That turned out really nice. You're still moving it.
Well, no, but look at this guy up here.
Yeah.
So I got this border here that's all like vines and stuff, and every page on my story is going to have a border like this.
That's crazy.
And I just put, and I try to make it, the border at least have some element that has to do with what's going on in the page. Like you got a little pillar over here on the side, because we're fighting in front of this temple. And you got all this vinage down here and a few stones down here where the vines are wrapping around. And then like I put the lizard up there just for fun. And so anyway, you can see what I'm going for. This will all be black shadow back here underneath the temple. And so that'll should separate these guys out really well. And I really tried to Frazetta these guys up because that's obviously what I'm going for. Yeah. And I moved this guy's arm back, David. See that?
I noticed.
So his leg comes down there and it doesn't intrude with that.
Yeah.
And so I think that all works better. I got a girl in there. Don't you love how she's sitting back here and he's like fighting and she's like, I'll just stand back here and look tough. I promise you in the next page, she gets into the fracas a little bit there.
You should name her Windy.
Windy because of her.
There's all that wind around her all the time.
I know that hair's blowing. Well, his is too. So, and this guy too. This guy's is not. So he must be blocked from the wind.
Yeah.
That's getting these guys. But I don't know why I started doing that, but I started at a very young age, like with my characters having their hair always moving. I'm sure I got it from Frazetta or Neil Adams or somebody, and I just, showed no restraint. I just did it all the time. Guy's sitting in his chair reading and his hair is blowing, or whatever.
What size is that again?
This page is, this is 11 inches wide and 16 inches tall. And then with the border, I think it's like 13 by 19, I think.
Okay. So
it's bigger than a normal comic book page. Obviously, It's wider because the format is, it's an 8.5 by 11 book. But height-wise, it's, live art area on a comic book page is 10 by 15. This is 11 by 16. So it's a little bit bigger than a.
So if I did my pages on 11 by 17, I just have to take an inch off of the top and it'll be to scale.
Not exactly. Because I'm rounding up. There's I think this is actually, you'd be close. Because this is 15 and 7/8, I think, by I think it might just be straight up 11, but I think it's 15 7/8. So yeah, you could theoretically do it on a it depends how big you want to go.
I got you.
But anyway, so I don't know if I'm going to show this when it gets completely done. I may just save it for you guys, wait for the book to come out.
Well, you might as well show it because you're just showing the whole entire thing. I think people would probably even like to see you ink it.
Well, that's what okay. That's what I'll do then. Next time we stream, I'll work on this.
Yeah. That turned out really good.
Thank you. And how quickly I finish this piece I'm working on. I might get to it today, but this is what I'm working on. This piece, after I ink wash, I'm going to throw it up on the campaign page for sale. So, I mean, why not?
Yeah, why the heck not?
Kara Wombat says, if it's windy, then it must be cold. Update accordingly. No, that's not necessarily true. You could be windy and like very warm out. I've experienced that. So you guys got to get your mind out of the gutter. I think this is the first story I've ever done that you could say is, very much in the vein of Edgar Rice Burroughs, which, is like, that's my favorite stuff. And the fact that I've gone through my entire career and never got to do anything like this,
yeah,
is really a bummer. But here I am finally marking it off my bucket list, I guess.
Scratching that itch.
Yep. Because I honestly, if I could make a living just doing dinosaurs, cavemen, and barbarian stuff, that's literally all I would do.
Isn't that what Bill Stott did?
Well, yeah, but he did a lot of movie work too, so that pays pretty well.
That is very true.
I did watch that video you sent me.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Well, it's so funny to listen to guys tell their story, because so many guys end up, just weird things happening that put them in a position to, and then they end up, doing great things, and because they just were in the right place at the right time, or knew the right guy, or somebody they knew said, hey, why don't you do this? Like him getting involved with the Conan movie, was pure just happenstance. And yet it made it, once he worked on the Conan movie, man, he was pretty much set in terms of having a reputation in the industry and people going to you for, you need that one thing that everybody sees and they're like, oh yeah, go get that guy. He worked on, whatever. And it's funny how some of that people just fall into some of that stuff sometimes.
Yeah. There's a lot of nepotism that goes on.
Well, yeah, it's definitely, it's always about who you know, almost exclusively, because it's not always. Sometimes we make our own opportunities, but it really does help to know somebody.
Yeah. Did you ever go to his life drawing classes at his home?
Yeah, one time. We were Terry Dodson, Rachel Dodson, and Shelley and I went down to, just for fun, went down to LA for the weekend to because they still had like movie poster shops and stuff on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
And so we were down there just, doing some movie poster hunting. And then we went to Universal Studios, and I knew I was going to be down there. So I called up Bill Stout, who's a friend of mine. And I said, hey, because I knew he was working at Universal at the time on these, like, they were doing these DreamWorks was doing these, we're going to do these video game, like parlors, but they were trying to really make them like super upscale. So you'd walk into this thing, it would be all just like, or it was an arcade, but it was like, they had Stout designing the outside, so it looked like this weird temple and, dragons and all this kind of crap. And it looked really, really cool. And they were going to open up a chain of these, but I think they opened up one in Seattle, and that was about as far as it got. But anyway, he was working on that stuff for DreamWorks at Universal. So he was on the lot working. kind of like when you were at Warner Brothers, right? You'd go on the lot every morning. And so we went in there and met him for lunch, and he showed us around, showed us, what he was working on and where he was at. And anyway, we went to the commissary for lunch. And of course, it's just full of actors. And it was so funny because we were waiting in line for the buffet or whatever you call it. What do you call it when you have options? Is that a buffet?
Okay. Yeah, it's a buffet.
Yeah, and so the kids or the actors are in the TV show Weird Science.
Yeah.
Now I never watched the show. I do remember the girl that played the hot girl they created or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's standing right in front of me, along with a couple of other dudes in the show. And anybody that knows Shelley knows that she's not afraid to chat with anybody. And she had no idea who these people were, so she was just chatting them up, these guys, probably because they were good-looking young guys. And I was talking to the female lead a little bit, and so we got over and sat down at lunch, and I go, "Do you know who you were talking to?" And she goes, "No." And I go, "Oh, these are the guys from the TV show." And she went, "Oh my gosh." I think she probably went over there and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't know who you were, but now I do." And but anyway, yeah. So we I can't even remember why I started telling this story. Was there something about going to LA. What
about William Stout?
Yeah, but didn't you ask me?
It turned into something else.
I guess I don't remember.
No, it's about, did you ever draw at his studio?
Right. So then after that, he goes, "You guys meet around Sunday?" We're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, I got a live model coming in," because he has a house in Pasadena, but he also has the second house that's really his studio.
Yeah. And
he had life drawing there every Sunday. And so Terry and I went in there. I think Shelley and Rachel, they just said, "Okay, we're going someplace else." And they went and did something else.
We're going to do girl stuff. You go.
Yeah. We were rifling through his flat files.
Oh, wow.
And it was so cool because we found like this painting he did that was like for a Schwarzenegger pirate movie that never got off the ground, but he did the prelim design work and stuff for it. And just, I mean, he just had tons of stuff piled everywhere.
Yeah.
And so we were just going through this stuff, and then the model showed up, and I don't even know. I mean, we drew a little bit, but I was still looking at his stuff. It's like, I don't care. I don't need to do a life drawing right now when I can look at all your stuff. So we did a little bit of the life drawing, and Mike Vosberg was there. That was the one guy I knew of that was there.
Yeah.
So it was, it was cool. And but I guess he's that drawing class obviously is pretty well known.
Yeah.
Because I always get that when I talk to other artists. What did you do? Is you want to do that life drawing with him? Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I went about 4 or 5 times, and I was taking other artists and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think the first couple times I was all right, until the other times when a bunch of Disney artists came in. Now people take for granted that they're just like, oh, Disney people do cartoons and stuff. Oh no.
Those dudes can draw.
Yeah, they're there to throw down, And I mean, after that whole experience, I said, I'll never do life drawing again.
Well, that was the thing, because my life drawing was to do a nice piece when you're doing life drawing, you got to be really loose and kind of fast and just kind of, you're trying to capture shape. You're not really trying to do like this finished drawing. And mine looked like I was trying to do a comic book drawing or something of this. I was so tight and it was so horrible.
Yeah. And
so I was like, kind of embarrassed. But
I did the opposite. I thought I was going to be all artsy fartsy and using the side of the pencil and, do this, rendering that's like real no.
Didn't work out.
Whatever I was doing, I was just like, and once we saw what the Disney people were doing there, it was just like, yeah. I took Palmer once.
Yeah.
And I took some a Sony artist over there, and they didn't want to go no more after that. I definitely didn't want to go anymore. I was just like, yeah, we're good.
That's the thing, man. You start to, there's so many talented people out there, and you don't really think about it. And you think, yeah, I'm all that. I got it figured out. And then somebody comes in and starts making you look like like you've never picked up a pencil before. And you're like, man.
I mean, like the simpleton in me goes, oh, why aren't you doing comics? Where that's the first go-to thing.
Yeah.
Where they could,
Yeah, you guys are good. Why aren't you drawing comics? And they're like, yeah, because we want to make money.
Exactly. They get their artistic freedom out when they go to William Stout's house, and they're just like, oh, okay, I don't have to draw funny animals, or now I get to really flex. And they scratch that itch doing stuff like that.
The only thing that cracks me up about Bill is that and I really respect him for this. And it took me a while to get used to it, but he's like he knows how to separate like business from friendship.
Yeah.
And so it's like, Terry and I were in there and we hardly drew. I mean, we spent most of the time looking at his stuff.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the thing, he still charged us $20 for the life drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, and it's like, nope. And I was like, but it's cool, he does it with a smile on his face. And so he's a super likable guy. And it's just like, it cracks me up, but he doesn't, and I think that's smart. We always get caught up like, oh, an artist comes up to you and says, hey man, I really love your artwork, and they almost expect you to just give them something,
Mm-hmm.
Stout's like, nope, it's $400,
Yep. Exactly. I always like that about him.
Yeah. So he understands the business aspect of what we're doing. And it's just because we're friends, it doesn't diminish the value of his artwork.
Yeah.
No.
I forgot how we met, but the odd thing that why we even started talking is that it could have been Dave Stevens or Jim Silk or someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, Prince came up. We started talking Prince, and he's like, "You're a Prince fan? I love Prince," and blah blah blah. And I was just like, "Yeah." And I was telling him all the bootleg things that I got, and he's all, oh, "Whoa, really?" And we were just talking for, that was always our go-to thing. And then a lot of years passed, and I see him again, and he can't remember my name. He knows me by sight.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that someone else's experiences that once in a while besides me.
Yeah. And I was just like, I'm like, David Williams? He's like, Prince, the Prince guy. Yeah, I was like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, see, I thought that was just me.
Oh, no. You know how many people run in and out of his life, especially if he's doing life drawing classes, doing shows, doing movies and stuff? I shouldn't expect him to remember me.
No, I never do. I always go up, whenever I go up to anybody's table, I always say, hey, so-and-so, Aaron Lopresti, and I don't even give them a chance. I hate people that
not to remember.
Yeah, exactly. And people do that to me all the time. Hey, how's it going? Remember me? And you're like, oh Lord, don't do this to me. Just because chances are I don't remember you, or I remember your face, but I'm like, so I never give anybody a chance to embarrass me. I always just like, yeah, hey, how's it going? Aaron Lopresti. Oh yeah, hey, Aaron, how's it going? Or they'll say, I know who you are, and you're like, yeah, sure you did. But no, I met him at Dragon Con.
Okay.
And Shelly and I were there. Now, this was we were just engaged, so Shelley, we were both very young, but these comic book guys are when young babes come around, they're full attention. So anyway, but he had just done his like Antarctic painting series, and so I went up and talked to him about that, and we just kept in touch. And I was, it's weird because when I was younger and trying to really kind of make a name for myself, I had no qualms about calling people up. I'd call up Plug, I'd call up, Stout and all this kind of stuff. And now I don't ever do that because I'm like, they'll never remember me. I don't want to embarrass myself. So I just don't do it. Back then I didn't care, because you're trying to establish yourself, and so you got to be fearless. And I'm always amazed at some of the stuff I did when I was younger that I would like never do now.
Yeah.
Sneaking into Marvel offices, and, just hanging around outside people's doors that did not want to talk to me. And I didn't care because I was like, I need a job and I'm going to make you guys hire me.
Yeah.
You never do that now.
Yep. I don't even know if you could now.
No, that's true. You probably couldn't. But there used to be, like I said, I got to know the receptionist really well, and we'd chat her up all the time, and she just let me in. She like, got an appointment? I'm like, not really. She goes, okay, here's a badge. I'll buzz you in.
Well, I'll buzz you in, cutie. Wink, wink.
Yeah, baby. Hey, you got to work it. Got to get what you can. Anyway, you can. So,
she's like, is the back door open? She said, it sure is.
Oh my God. Here we go. No longer a kid's show, ladies and gentlemen. Cover your kids' ears.
What? I don't know if the back door was open.
My favorite story to tell, though, is that Shelly and I she was there with me again, and we were engaged, and she went to New York with me, and we went to DC first, and one of the editors at DC, Frank Pittarisi, I don't know what he's up to these days. Good guy, and he was funny because his dream at that time was to get into soap opera writing. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, it's so cool or whatever. I'm like, okay. I guess it's probably pretty steady work because it's like, daily stuff. But so anyway, he took us out to lunch, and in this hamburger joint that I thought was really good. And you know what? I take that back. That was another day on that trip. We went to the World Trade Center before it got destroyed, obviously.
Oh, wow.
And so we went up to the top, to the roof and all that kind of stuff. When we came down, there was, we wanted to get something to eat. And it was like this burger joint, but it was like one of those ones on the corner of just some rando street, in New York. And those things open and close so quickly. But anyway, so there was this hamburger joint there. And so we got a couple hamburgers, and I thought it was awesome. They had the grilled onions and just, it was just everything you'd imagine a, small hole in the wall burger joint in New York City might be. And so we ate it in the, down in the, what would you call it? The concrete lobby area outside the Empire, or the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
And the plaza, I guess is what you call it. And so, well, dude, by the time we got on the subway and we're halfway to Marvel, she's like, I don't feel good. And so she was like, we're on the subway and she's barfing in like garbage cans in the subway.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, everybody's going to think that, she's homeless or something, Although she wasn't dressed like it, but she's like running over there, right in the subway. I mean, it's like people walking by and everything.
Oh, she must have ate that grilled cheeseburger over at such and
Yeah,
such.
well, that's what it was. It didn't bother me a bit. I was like, let's go have another one. She's like, you know. So no kidding. We get to Marvel, right?
Yeah.
And I actually had an appointment, and we were there early, and so we're sitting there. I'm talking to the receptionist, you know, that I know, and all this kind of stuff. And she's like, yeah, you know, who are you here to see? And I'm like, Renee, whoever I don't remember who it was. And I said, I got a 2:00 with so and so, and they're like, okay. And so I was just sitting there waiting, and Shelly's like, I'm going to be sick again. And so the receptionist buzzed her in, so she's running into the Marvel bathroom.
Wow.
Heaving while I'm sitting out in the lobby waiting for my appointment.
Wow.
Oh, so funny. I mean,
you'll never forget that day.
No, she won't either. It's a legendary story.
Did you end up getting work from that day?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, that's some good luck bar for you.
Exactly. Well, at that point, I'd already started doing some stuff for Marvel, so it was more of just a maintenance trip, you know. Just go in, make yourself be seen, talk about what may be coming next, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Henry Thrun, you remember Henry, says Aaron was more concerned that people would think she's homeless as opposed to the fact that she was actually sick. Hey, man, appearance is everything. All right, so I'm done inking this thing, so I'm going to start laying down some wash on this. Now, this is already toned paper, so I don't know if the ink wash, how much it's really going to affect the look. Now, I already prepared this stuff, right? So I poured up some water and ink in here and mixed it up so it's consistent. So I'm not like creating ink wash. It's already there. So
can't find all my supplies. Sheesh.
You're running around, running errands when you should be prepping for the show. Now that's the great thing about these shows is there is no prep, man. We're just going for it. So I want to remind everybody, of course, that if you're just dropping in right now, we have about 270 people watching. If we're doing this to promote Barbaric Adventures, which is our campaign on Indiegogo, featuring stories that would fit well in a Robert E. Howard novel or an Edgar Rice Burroughs novel. So if you're into that kind of stuff, and quite frankly, even if you're not, you need to get into it. So we'd appreciate you consider backing today. And the link is in the description of this video. It's also pinned to the top of the chat. And I know many of our mods are also posting that stuff in the chat as well. If you're on X, you can find a link on my homepage on X, or you can just go to Indiegogo, type in Aaron Lopresti or type in Barbaric Adventures, and it will come up and take you right there. So we appreciate your support on this project. And I do have a super chat I better get to here. Garfield's Bizarre Adventures 5758 for 5. He says, thank you. Any updates on Fearsome? People on the camp page are frustrated with the lack of updates and communication. Original fulfillment date was October 2024. All we can tell you about that is that that's Ethan's campaign, and he's running it. And, I mean, I don't know what to say other than to have to check with him on that. Thank you for the super chat. I wish I could give you more info on that, but I know David's working on the book, but there's nothing to say at this point other than, when's Ethan, what his plans are for it. And you have to check with him. So I apologize for not having any inside information on that, but.
Yep. Hey, check this out. This was an early drawing of my character.
I love that. You know what this kind of feels like? I mean, I know your story is way heavier than this, but it almost has a Disney-esque feel to it.
Oh,
That I kind of like. Like, did you see the Black Cauldron? I'm sure you did.
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really like the way that looks.
Oh, thanks. Well, I want that innocence in there. So
Right.
if you're getting that feeling, that's fine. That's
Yep. But I am. I really like the way that looks, like how you're approaching this, because it's. I think it's very apropos to what your story is too.
now all we got to do is get her done.
Yep. But we're working on it, and I expect this campaign. I expect all of this to be done in June sometime with the stories, and then we'll go right to the printer from there, and hopefully the turnaround time will be quick, and I can get this thing fulfilled to you guys in like August is my goal. I never make 100% promises on stuff like that, because there's always factors involved. Like I said, I've had printing screw ups and things like that cost me an extra 6 weeks that weren't my fault, but it happened. So what do you do? So there's always because we're not big publishers creating huge volume for the printers, you don't get preferential treatment. And so sometimes things don't get done as quickly as you would like them to. So I can only tell you what we can control is getting the story done, and then getting it to the printer, and then just hopefully they turn it around quickly. So,
yep.
But we've got, I'm doing a story, Dave's doing a story, and Dan Wallace is doing a story. So my expectation is that the fact is it shouldn't take anywhere near as long as when I'm doing a 64-page plus book by myself. These should go by or get done much quicker than normal.
And it will.
And it will. And I always put caveats on there and go, barring any disaster, unforeseen disaster.
Okay. Now I'm going to gray tones. Let's see who gets it done faster.
Garfield Bizarre says, I can't ask EVS. He banned me for criticizing Comicsgate. No refunds.
Wow.
I'm going to say this, and I don't want to get in trouble with anybody, but one thing you guys have to understand is that even though we're all, say, part of this Comicsgate family or umbrella or however you want to look at it, we can only be responsible for our own projects, and we don't really have any control over what other people are doing. And so I have no, and David was work for hire on that project, so he wasn't involved other than just drawing the script that he got. So we don't have any inside information, about when it'll come out or any of that kind of thing. So I really apologize, but please don't blame, or all of us for other people's campaigns, or I don't take the successes that other people have. It has nothing to do with me, and the problems that other people have on their campaigns has nothing to do with me. I just don't have any say in it or any knowledge of it. So, and I know you're just trying to get info, and I appreciate that, but the only guy that knows what's going on with that campaign is Ethan, because it's his campaign. So there you go. I have to admit, I am a little, when I'm doing ink wash, because this is, I mean, the markers are permanent too, but I'm a little, I don't want to say wimpy, but maybe I should say wimpy. I'm a little cautious. That's a better word. I'm cautious on, I don't really just go balls out like I do when I'm using a marker.
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh, I'll just put a little bit here and see how that looks. And then I'll put a little bit more here, see how that looks.
Just go for it. Just start splashing grays wherever.
No, I should. I always get nervous on the women, right? It's like I don't want to do too much on there and have it detract from the beauty of the female form. But I need to get in here on this this tree stump thing down here because I can mess with that and nobody cares.
Well, that was Mobius. He was just like drawing a woman and a fan bumped the table. He's oh, hey, what the hell are you doing? Can't you see I'm drawing the hardest thing in the world? Well, I'm sorry. Well, what are you drawing? A woman.
Mustang Trainer for 5 says the return of the AL and DW draw stream. How lucky to get 2 of my favorite artists alone together. Let's go.
Thank you.
Thank you for Well, the thing about streaming is if you're not like trying to be a YouTuber and drama farm or whatever to get clicks and stuff, I look at what do I have to offer, and the only thing I can do is really pretty much draw.
Yeah.
And talk about Bigfoot. So
I mean,
I'm like,
I don't like anybody talking about me, especially in the negative. So I don't want to put that stuff out there to give anybody ammunition.
Well, exactly. And because we do
I mean,
have
the only people I'll talk about in the negative are politicians. So
well, you become a politician, you automatically become a target, and I think everybody knows that going in. But yeah, it's like that's what I have to offer is art. So that's what, and I need to be very visible, especially when you have a campaign going. And so that's what I can do is draw. And when you do one of these pure draw streams, you feel less compelled to be, entertaining and just say, you know what, I'm drawing. Here we go. I'll talk about what I'm doing, but we save the heavy lifting for graybeards.
Yeah. Gosh.
What are you doing, man?
I'm going through my markers. I have them, unfortunately, right near the speaker. Sorry. You guys want the AMSR experience of an artist.
I was getting mesmerized listening to you rummaging, and I was like, wait a minute, I haven't said anything in like 2 minutes because I'm just listening to that. I'm getting a little more bold here with some of my wash technique.
I'll be the judge of that.
Great, how gray this girl up a little bit here. Well, like I've already got the paper is tonal, like I said, so the mid values, the mid are already established. So now it's just, doing the darker shadows, and I guess I could go in and pump in some highlights, couldn't I?
Yeah, get in there, pump them highlights.
And since this has been brought up, now it's eating at me, so I have to comment again.
Uh-oh.
It's like, you guys, I hope you guys all understand, and if you don't, you need to consider this, please, that if you're concerned about, because the guy that was asking about Fearsome was also complaining about Jimmy Reyes, and Rob Hunter and guys that flaked out. And like I said, this isn't a corporation. It's not an organization where we have any control over anything other than our own campaigns. And so rather than throwing the baby out with the bathwater, back to people that that have a proven track record, and you're going to get your book, and you're going to get it. I know we promoted a lot of these guys, but we didn't know they were going to flake out, and so I do, I apologize for giving platforms to guys that did not fulfill their campaigns. And that's why I've been way more cautious going forward about doing that, because we don't know. We have no idea if, so what you can do is you can look at people and, specifically since, this is my stream right now, my track record is flawless. Every book that I have promoted and campaigned and crowdfunded, I have delivered, and at a pretty high quality too, I don't mind saying. So, I know that some of you guys have been burned on some books and some creators not coming through and fulfilling, but that has not been my case. And I've got to say, I've been approached by people saying that, I'm not going to back stuff anymore because, someone else is doing something that I don't like, or they haven't fulfilled, or whatever. It has nothing to do with me. Okay. And I know you guys want more accountability in some cases, but there just isn't. It's not set up that way. This isn't even Image Comics. It's just a bunch of individual creators creating comics in the same space. And we're all responsible for our own projects. And so back the guys that deliver. And if you're worried about someone else, wait till the book is done before you back, if it's something you want. But I can't control what I can't control. And the only thing I can control is my projects. And I have made sure that they all got shipped and came out relatively close to on time. So that's about all I can say about it. Okay, now I'll drop it. This has been a Aaron's soapbox.
No, I want you to keep going. I liked it.
I don't think it's, I mean, I understand when people get frustrated, but I don't think it's fair to blame everybody for something that one person or two people or three people or whatever did. It's like you have to approach all of these individually and say, can I trust that guy? Did that guy put out a good book? Well, I put out 3 issues of Wraith of God, Kit Carter, and now this. So this is like my, I don't know, this is my 6th campaign, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, back the guys that are producing the stuff that you want to read, you're going to get. And and then just wait on the other stuff. I mean, I think that's the best approach. But if you just throw in the towel and say, oh, I've had it with everybody because of whatever someone else did, well, you're missing out on some really good stuff. And so anyway, for what it's worth.
I agree.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, Garfield Bizarre Real Adventures, you're still complaining about EVS, and it doesn't make any difference to me. I can't do anything about it. I can't answer for him. I don't know what he's doing, what campaigns he's filled, which ones he hasn't. I don't have any. I just, it's not my project. It's so. All right. Now I'm getting a little more bold with this. Now the question is, will I go too far? David's getting up laughing at me, going, "Dude, what'd you do that for? That's horrible."
I'm already having issues already. I got these second-rate Copics that are not giving me the.
And wait a minute, how do you have second-rate Copics? Like they're old or something?
No, they're just like not Copics.
Oh, I see. Knockoffs.
Yeah.
Copic knockoffs. Okay, well.
So, since we don't have Gary here to interrupt about the Spider-Man movie, were you going to go see it?
I am. I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do. Because I've always kind of felt that this Sony stuff was separate from what Marvel proper was doing through Disney.
Yeah.
And although I know they're all sort of under the same umbrella now, aren't they?
I think so, yeah.
But I'm kind of curious to see if we're going to get 6-armed Spider-Man, if we're going to, what exactly they're going to do. So
yeah,
I will probably go see it. Now, I'm not I've kind of lost interest in the MCU
Mm.
film-wise stuff. I mean, when after Endgame, that felt like that was sort of like the end of our generation's superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And this is like this stuff they're doing now is kind of like for the next generation of Marvel film going fans.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I'll get sucked into it or not. I mean, if it comes out and it gets like really good reviews and Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom is incredible and blah blah blah, yeah, maybe I'll go see it.
Yeah.
But I am kind of interested in Spider-Man just because I have a longer history with Spider-Man as a collector and always was a big Spidey fan. Although I find their diversity quotient in the Spider-Man films so obnoxious that it sort of bugs me, but I'm like, whatever. I guess it's it's like they have like one nationality represented like in the entire world in Peter Parker's science class.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, Flash Thompson's an Indian guy? It was like, come on. any Indian guys named Flash Thompson?
Yeah, I would have appreciated it if they would have made him Indian, but he's still as big as Flash Thompson. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's true. He's not a very imposing bully, is he?
No, not at all. They have a different version of bullies with these kids nowadays. I was about to say something crazy.
Well, I guess you don't have to be like a big dude to be a cyber bully, right? So I guess that's
the new bullying. I'm like, you guys don't know what bullying is.
Yeah. Somebody called you a name online, boy. We used to get punched in the face.
I'm like, really? Is that what you call bullying? I'm like, okay. He called me I can't even say the word.
We're just endearing ourselves to people today, aren't we? I said we're just really endearing ourselves to people today.
Yeah. Hey, we're the original graybeard. You got to expect old guys to talk like old guys.
That's true.
I'm old-fashioned, and I'm not about to change for nobody. Woo.
That looks like it's coming out all right. What are you complaining about?
Shut up.
No, it looks.
I'll let you know when it's good.
Okay, well, it's not as good as mine, but it's good though.
Yeah, that's how I feel. If it ain't as good as yours, then it's no good.
Oh. All right. Again, I want to remind everybody that the reason we're doing this stream really is to promote Barbaric Adventures #1. That's my latest campaign that I always fulfill. I have 100% record. And I don't fulfill with garbage.
That's right.
Yes, give you guys the good stuff. And so it's like, if you got a cocaine addiction, you buy some bad stuff, and you trip real bad, not going to happen here. You're going to get the good stuff for me.
Right.
Cambodian. If you're, if you need your addiction filled, I am your guy to help you out. So you'll find a link in the description of this video, take you right to the campaign. This art, although it's not directly related to, in other words, it's not a page that's going to be in the book. it is featuring characters that are in the book. And so it's, I guess it's a way of subtly, but not too subtly promoting the project. And I don't know what Dave is going to do with his when he gets it done. I'm putting this up on the campaign page for sale, so we can, if anybody wants it, they can add to the production budget of the book.
Well, I got to see how mine turns out before.
Yeah, before you make any grand announcements about it. It is funny. The more you do this, the more you get into the actual process.
Mm-hmm.
You start getting faster and looser, and it starts becoming what it should have been from the get-go. But it just takes me a while to get a feel for it, so that I don't feel like I'm just totally making one huge mistake after another.
Yeah.
Oh, and on that big splash page I showed,
Mm-hmm.
there's a little bit of whiteout in there. So
What?
I know, and now I've got to I'm going to put some gray over the top of that. How's that going to work?
Oh, you got to start again, because Aaron Lopresti does not use whiteout.
Now, don't confuse me with Gary. Okay, Gary does not use. I do not. I use whiteout liberally. That's the only thing I use liberally in my life. Yeah, baby. I like how this turned out. A little shadow under here on the grass. I mean, just being bold and dropping in a shadow without any drawing underneath it, just going for it.
Dropping it like it's hot.
Yeah, because if I screw it up, I can't change it now.
So what's this character's name again?
Oh, the guy you drawn?
Yeah.
Carson Taylor. Just call him Carson,
Yeah, names of characters are very important.
Well, I tried to come up with a tough guy name. That Carson, that sounds kind of like a tough guy might have that name. And then I was thinking of Taylor from Planet of the Apes, Charles Heston, and so that's where I got that from. Right. I think that's what I'm going to do on this. So that means I have to pull out my my page from the story and work on that now. I was thinking about coloring this chick's hair red, but then I thought, that'll be the only color in the whole thing. I better not do that. It'd be a little too impressionistic for the average audience. I don't want anybody losing their mind out there.
Yeah, but it'll guarantee some money.
Well, that was Kelsey's philosophy, right? Throw some red in there.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to sign it and call it good, and then I'm going to get out that splash page and work on that just a little bit. I really like working on tonal paper or toned paper. All right, I'm going to go big here for a second, show what this looks like.
Nice.
Look at that.
You should go get a saucer or a plate and put a big moon behind there.
Should I?
Yep.
Like over her back shoulder on the right-hand side?
No, dead center. Make it big, like a little teacup saucer. Yeah, man. Go bold, man.
Henry Angela says we should vote on character names. He's suggesting Bodie McBoatface. I don't know if that's actually what I'm looking for. Art of Roy says Aaron loves the Carson name. Anything that starts with a car. Carson, Carter, Carlos. Merilith, that's right. Beware Carson Taylor, beware the man with two last names. All right, so you're thinking I should put a moon in there, huh?
Yep.
You're thinking like a gigantic one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have anything handy. See, I want to get those giant circle templates and ellipse templates that Beatty had.
I got those.
Like the giant ones?
No, that's too small.
Dude, I don't have to go downstairs. I don't even know if I have a round plate. All of our plates are square.
Is she on another planet?
Yeah, well, it's interdimensional, so I don't know that I can pull off the square. What can I use? I know what you're. I've got a what are those things called? A compass.
Yeah. Just do it in pencil first, or just do it in pencil at all. You don't have to put it in ink.
Well, see,
use your compass.
I'm going to, but I'm gonna.
And if you don't like it, you can erase it.
If I can find the stupid. See, now I gotta find something. Thought it was there. It's not there. Do I have anything like an action figure with a big pedestal or something that I could? Here's a coffee mug, but that's not big enough. What did I do with that? I have all this stuff, and then when I need it, I cannot find it. I'm done. You were a giant compass. Where? Oh, there it is. Okay. Got it. All right, so I'm going to do this very lightly, and then you can tell me if it's meeting your criteria. I'll do it in blue. That's not big enough. I can tell you that right now, because I think I know what you're suggesting, but. These are very handy. These are like extender things.
Yeah, I don't have one of them. I got the old-fashioned one, the little teeny one. But...
Right. Now it's going off the page now. right, so that's going to be too big. It's going to go off the page. And you got this in my head, and now I'm like, I got to
I want to make it work, damn it.
That might do it. Let's see. That's not high enough. You know, I'm going to mess this drawing up, and it's going to be your fault.
I don't think you'll mess it up.
Like that, there, I think that's what we're going for right there.
I can't see.
Well, I know. I got to clean this up. Give me a second here. Can you see that?
Go bigger. Because I'm over.
Oh, yeah. Hang on a second.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there it is. Bam.
All right. David William demands it. I'll do it. Jason Brazier says artwork is above pedestrian today. Great job, both.
I'll take it.
Yep. All righty, here we go. Let's make this happen. We'll do this with a 0.5. Trying to get that. There we go. Oh, crap. I can't remember where I put the doggone it. So I didn't want to push too hard because I didn't want to put a hole in the paper.
Yeah.
And now I can't find my starting spot. So I'm going to have to find it again.
Do the Stevie Wonder thing. Feel around for it.
Yeah. No, that ain't it. That, no. Is that it? That's pretty much it. Right there. Okay, I see it now. It should be right in here. Okay, that's close enough. I'm going for it. What the heck? Oh, just went right through her hair. Thank goodness for whiteout. I was going to use whiteout anyway, you know. Oh, baby. All right, I did it.
There you go.
The old,
Oh, I meant to do a triangle.
what is that crap? What are you doing? See, you know what I should do? If I really had balls, I would like make the big Frazetta moon back there with all the like
crevices and all that.
Yeah, all that stuff in there, but I'm not going to.
Y'all, who needs balls anyway?
Yeah, that's right.
They just get in the way.
Now, I'm going to use this Sharpie brush pen just to put a little bit of. Now, see, if I put whiteout up here in the hair, then I have to use it elsewhere in the piece, or it'll look like I just, covering up mistakes, which is what I did just do. But then I will add it to other spots so it, now I'll use it for highlights. I'm a big fan of this Sharpie whiteout brush pen because it covers really well.
I got to get one of those.
This is it. I mean, we have spent, how many years looking for a good whiteout pen, and this is it because it really covers well, and it's more flexible than those Prestos.
Is it like basically acrylic or something like that?
I don't know, but Sharpie, you can always count on them giving you a permanent covering, and I don't know what it is. It doesn't really say. It's part of their creative marker line, which they have black too. Yeah, it doesn't say much on here. It might on the package, but I ditched the package, so you have to have a real soft touch to get a real fine line out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's better than those Prestos.
Really?
Which you kind of get. Well, the Prestos are really super white and they cover great, but there's not a lot of flexibility in the line variances. You can get that with these. Now, the more work I put into this, the more expensive this is getting.
Isn't that how all art goes?
I think it does. Unless you draw something that's just nobody has any interest in, and it could be the most incredibly detailed, wonderful piece ever, and you still can't get anything for it because it's,
The character.
Yeah, insert dumb character. Oh, you should see this. I did this brilliant paste pot Pete. Yeah, well, you're going to have that for a while. Occasionally I get how do we say, off the wall requests for characters. And you're like, I'm so glad this is a commission request because no one else in the world would ever want this character. Those are the ones where you go, okay, you got to give me the money up front. Because if you change your mind, I'm stuck with this thing. Then you got to kind of practice a little bit of restraint because you start dropping that white and you go, I'll put some here, and then 20 highlights on this now. Just using it to kind of flavor it a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't want to highlight these dudes in the background because they're in the background. So let's leave them in the background. And make sure these... no, I don't want anybody looking at these cavemen too closely, All right. All right, I'm going to call that done then.
Ta-da!
Dun, dun, dun.
Nice.
Real
Look at you.
Oh, I'm bringing the heat, bro.
I could tell.
Bringing it. True Fan says, Aaron, what brand is that compass? That's a good question. It is a Alvin, like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh man.
It's called a clip compass. Comes from Japan because it has a Japan patent on it. It has a little sticker that says Alvin on it. So that's pretty much the only name on here. I've had this thing for like years, like at least probably 20 years. But I think these are called, what do they call them? Not extended compasses. What are they called? These, trying to think of how you could look it up on Amazon. All right, so I signed my name and then I did work on it afterwards. So it's kind of like, feels like cheating. But there you have it.
Real nice.
All righty. All right, so guys, we're at, we've been doing this for 2 hours now.
Doesn't feel like it.
No, it doesn't. There's no pressure, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do, how close are you to being done?
Pretty close.
Okay. I'll do a little bit of work on my page. I'll wait for David to. Okay, so I'm going to put this up on the campaign page today sometime. So if you're interested in getting this piece, that's where it'll be shortly. Okay, so if you weren't here earlier, and I know we have over 300 people now. I'm not sure. Yeah, we got over 300. Who needs graybeards? We're getting better numbers than graybeards right now. This is I'm going to go big for a minute here, David. This is a page that I'm working on from the story Primal Zone that's going in the Barbaric Adventures book. I'm in the process of inking it, as you can see. Every page has this border, at least in my story, has this border around it, which I'm already regretting doing, but it's kind of fun. But at the same time, you're like, okay, I just spent 2 hours working on the border. But you can see there's like, I put a little lizard guy, a little dinosaur lizard guy. And so we have this vine border that encircles the entire page. Our heroes are fighting the caveman right in front of this old temple. So I put a little column right in here, and some stones over here to kind of thematically, support the page. So the first page, if you haven't seen it, I'm sure most of you have, it's on the campaign page, but this is completed with ink wash. This is page 1 of the story. This is one of our main characters, Celia. She's the heroine, not heroin the drug, but the heroine of the story. And so we have this kind of viney, so you can see leafy, viney, very kind of Barry Smithy border. And then we go to page 2. And what I did here is I put a spear in here because it was apropos to what's going on here. She's got her spear out. She's going to have to fight this dinosaur. Maybe Carson Taylor shows up to help her. I'm not going to say. You'll have to read the story. But again, I did with the kind of, vines and leaves around it. And so and it's all ink washed, as you can see, like we were just working on this other piece. And so that's how all of our stories are going to be ink washed. Like I say, David's using a combo of marker and ink wash on his, which he's doing right now on his drawing that he's doing in his story. And then here's this is probably, I don't know, halfway through the story, this page. But it was originally a potential cover layout, and I went in a different direction. And I thought, you know what? That will work for the scene. And I hadn't written it as a splash page, but it is now. But that's the beauty of editing your own stuff, is you can change it as you go if you want to.
Nice.
Thank you. So I've been working on the background mostly because I want these characters to settle in for a while, because you can draw them and you say, oh, that looks great. And then 2 days later, you can go, why is his face all messed up? Or why that doesn't work? And if I ink it like immediately, then catch something, I'll be really pissed at myself. So I'm kind of inking all the rocks and stuff around these guys. So it gives me a little bit more time to look at the figure work. But this caveman's kind of funny up here because I probably see right here, I started with a brush and did this kind of highlight in here. And the problem with that was his hair looked like it was combed. It looked like, a nice soft, girl's hair or something. I was like, okay, this dude living in the freaking jungle, his hair is not combed. So I had to go in and really kind of mess it up, which I did. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing that again. So these cavemen do not have nice hair.
They don't use Wella balsam.
No, or what was that you said the other day?
Prel.
Yeah, good old Prel.
Is Prel before their time or after their time?
Oh, it's got to be. Oh, before these guys?
Yeah.
It would have been before, because this is another dimension. It's not like the Stone Age. It's a different place.
Gotcha.
So it'd be like it was a different planet, but it's a dimensional rift that our hero Carson Taylor goes through. And so then he's, kind of like John Carter goes to Mars, but this isn't a specific like new planet. It's an interdimensional thing.
Gotcha.
And the reason I went that direction was because I have some other characters that I haven't done yet in my, Lopresti verse that this dimensional portal is sort of a factor in. So I try to do stuff that I'm trying to keep everything in continuity.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I went that direction with this. And hence the title Primal Zone instead of the Primal Planet. So that Primal Zone was a little better title. I think it is anyway.
Well, you don't want to have it be two P's in there, because you say, hey, when is your PP book coming out?
When's the PP book coming out? That's right. So I'm pretty detailed, as you can see, on the drawing of the characters on this page, because I'm not doing a loose approach where I'm just going to like dump in a bunch of blacks and hope it works. I'm trying to figure out the way everything goes together and looks better. But the background, I've sort of just done real loose sort of vegetation and some stonework and things. And then I've gone in and detailed it up when I was inking.
Yeah.
It's a little easier to do that than it is with your figures. So I'm going to go back to both of us there so you can see David working as well. Headless Bourgeoisie says, in the Lopresti verse, no one can see your butt.
What?
Yeah, well, they're making a joke about how I covered my female's rear end, but look there's some cheek right there, baby. That's a butt cheek right there. I just didn't go full butt.
Y'all don't need Bootius Maximus here. This is a comic book.
That's right.
For everybody.
There you go. Thank you, David. Couldn't have said it better. So you got to use your imagination a little bit on this. And my kids give me crap when I do that much booty. So
you should tell them, kids, if it wasn't for booty, you wouldn't be here.
That's right. If it wasn't for booty, you would not be there right now.
Sorry, Shelly.
but it is true. So. And the thing is, the great thing about this blue pencil, I'm using regular blue now. I used to use light blue coal erase, but I think I've told you guys a dozen times or more, they don't make it anymore, at least individually. You can get it in a set, but you can't get them as an individual color. Like I used to be able to get boxes of them. You can't do it anymore. They don't make them for whatever reason. But they do make these blues. And so I started using these blues, and they're darker, and I kind of like the way they look. And the thing is about them, just like the light blue, you can scan this as a black and white image and drop the blue out in Photoshop. So I don't have to clean it up. And that's why I do all my underdrawing in blue. Because the one thing I hate more than anything, well, is that hyperbole, or I really do hate it though, is having to clean up my pages. You spend all this time penciling and inking something, and then you scan it, and it just picks up all the, pencil lines you missed. I mean, I hate even erasing at all. Once I get done inking it, I'm like, can I just turn it in now? Are we done?
Can I be done with this, please?
Yeah, I don't like the technical aspect of having to clean it up.
Yeah.
And so the less pencil that's on here, the less cleanup I have to do. Now, obviously, I did pencil these guys, so I just made it worse on myself. But I was being super tight on this image because it's a splash page. I want to make sure it looks good. I want to make sure all the blacks, as I place the blacks, that they look good. So I put a lot more. I pencil it like I would if someone else was inking it.
Gotcha.
But I normally don't do that. So I don't usually have that much pencil to be cleaned up, but still, it's nice to be able to go in there in a Photoshop after you scan it and just hit, I can't remember what the command is off the top of my head. You go into a menu and you pull down, and one of the options is basically, I don't know what they call it, but it allows you to just, it takes the blue right out of the picture. And well, that's, but when I started using blue pencil, that really wasn't available because we didn't really have Photoshop in do we have Photoshop in the 90s? I guess it was just kind of coming around, wasn't it? In the early 90s?
I don't know.
I was like using CompuServe, dial-up internet. So I don't think they might have Photoshop, but that's a good question. I can't remember. It was a new thing anyway. And of course, because it's me and I just am clueless about tech stuff, it wasn't until just a few years ago, a colorist goes, you can get rid of that blue just going into, I'm like, really? So, what I do most of the time, but I won't be doing on these obviously because they're tonal renderings. When they're done, is I would scan everything bitmap, and that would drop the pencil out pretty much. It pretty much cleaned up your page for you. But I have to scan these in color because of the elements of gray that are in these. And so now you've got a mess to clean up, but thanks to a blue pencil, I can just eliminate it pretty quickly.
I'm done.
Okay. A lot of inkers I've worked with, they've got a system of how to clean up their pages that I don't really know the ins and outs of, but all right, I want to see what you got here. Let's take a look at David's drawing here. Oh, dig it, man. So that's the technique you're going to use more or less on the interiors of your story, right?
A lot less.
A lot.
Way better materials.
Yeah. Gemini Dragon says Photoshop was in 1990, I think. Okay. Well, yeah, I think I was using Photoshop. And what was that design program that came with the Photoshop with was everybody uses InDesign now, but it was like You had to do all your lettering and stuff in it and import it. And it was just never really figured it out. Yeah, a lot of people saying they use a mechanical blue pencil. Yeah, there you go.
So if anybody's interested, just shoot me a note on X.
If you're interested in this piece.
Yeah.
There you go. Carson Taylor, the hero of Primal Zone. So there you go. And again, you guys can see this really cool page. And when I get all the blacks in the background, I think this thing should really pop. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, I will next draw stream, depending on where I'm at on this page, we'll pick it up where we left off, or we'll do something else. But we are here, of course, to promote Barbaric. Ooh, there's me. Let's pull back a little bit from that. Let's take a quick look at the campaign before we head out the door here. Oh, let's see. No backers? Come on, you guys. Oh, there's one. Yay. All right, we got one backer today. But I want you guys we got 343 people watching. So what we've got here is called Barbaric Adventures. It's an 8.5 by 11 square bound, black and white. It's not really a magazine because it's square bound. It's going to be much heftier than that, but that's kind of what we're going for, is that old Savage Tales vibe. You've got 3 main stories in here. Primal Zone, which is what I've been working on today. A story of a reluctant hero cast in an interdimensional world of dinosaurs and cavemen. David Williams will be producing a story of a young medieval knight who battles a horde of demons in a quest to become a true warrior. And finally, Dan Lawless takes a futuristic Mars where high-tech society has fallen into savage chaos, and one man must lead a rebellion. And so he's got this thing that's got some sci-fi, it's got some barbarism in it, pretty good stuff. Gary Martin contributes, and also I have a short preview story of Freya, the Ice Princess, or Princess from the Ice Kingdom, and she's also a Yeti Slayer, so lots of good stuff. How much fun stuff can I work into just a few pages of preview? But we have 4 cover options for you. This is my Primal Zone cover. This is David's cover featuring his character and story. Dan Lawless's Mars Madness cover, if you will, that features his story. And then, of course, the great, legendary Joe Jusko did a cover for us featuring Freya, the Ice Princess, Slayer of Yetis in this Arctic wilderness. Another great cover by Joe. We showed you some of the interior pages. Here's some more right here. These are a couple from my story. There's Dan's. We'll get some of David's up shortly. If you look over to the right, you'll see a 4-pack plus that allows you to get all 4 covers plus the signed sketchbook that's 8.5 by 11 and 32 pages. So it's a larger format sketchbook, much like Kit Carter sketchbook was in that previous campaign. If you get the big Barbaric box, which is another perk you can get, you get 2 items that are only in there and you can't get anywhere else in the campaign. And that is this 4-issue color portfolio signed by me in an illustrated envelope. This is the 5th cover. This is the color rough for it, so it's not the finished painting, but you get the layout idea anyway. And this cover is only available in the Big Barbaric box. So you have 2 items that you can only get if you order the Big Barbaric box. This is the sketchbook. That's the cover to the sketchbook right there, featuring again our Ice Princess, Yeti Slayer. Here's a print featuring her as well called Snow Hunt. This comes signed. You can get this. Barbaric Adventures shot glass, laser etched into the glass. This is number 5 in a series of 6 shot glasses that Empire Comics has been producing over the last few years. There's several pieces of original art for sale. The one I just finished today will go up there today. Some of this is sold, some of it still remains. If you keep scrolling down, it'll finally get you to the rewards, which we used to call perks, but now call rewards. There's your 4-pack plus shot glass, cover A, cover C, cover D, cover B. You can get combo packs, Barbaric Adventures 1 with a sketchbook. That's $5 savings. That's not much, but it's something, right? If you're going to get both, might as well get the pack here. And then you can get the Barbaric sketchbook and the print and cover A for $55, which is a $5 discount there. Or you can go for the big discount, get the big Barbaric box. It's a $210 value for $185. That's $25 off. It's like I'm giving you that extra cover for free. And actually the book is inside it. It's not just the cover. That was a joke. Okay. So, and then you go through the, these are all the original artwork perks in here that are available. And then you keep scrolling down, you get to the add-ons. So you can make your own buffet style order if you want. If you want a sketchbook and you want maybe a copy of Saved from the Trash and you want covers, you want Justgo's cover, right? So that's not a perk to add all those together. So you make it yourself by using add-ons right here. Everything gets thrown into a cart and then you check out when you've got everything figured out. You can get Wraith of God 1, 2, and 3, Saved from the Trash, which is one of my vintage sketchbooks. I still think it's a really good one. And Kit Carter, Planet Doom is in there. Garbage Man, Power Cubed, all 4 Barbaric covers, and of course Kit Carter's sketchbook is there. So that is the campaign, guys. That is what we are pushing today. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We will be back randomly. I don't exactly plan these out. It's just we've got an open spot during the day. We jump on and we'll do a draw stream like this, and usually something related to the campaign one way or another. And then, of course, we have Graybeards on Wednesdays, which covers a bunch of different subject matter in a draw stream. So there you go, folks. I want to thank you guys all for joining me. And Vespa guy for 20 big ones just saw that. He goes, I've got to head out. Thanks for the stream today, gentlemen. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you, Vespa. Appreciate that. He probably already left, but thank you for that 20. And all righty. So hopefully I didn't say too many things controversial today, but if they did, I'm sure they're clipped someplace. So anyway, thanks guys for joining us. We'll catch you on the next stream. Have a good day.